Welcome to a special episode of the BLShow during the coronavirus pandemic. Nobody's really talking about the health and economic effects this pandemic is having on the Haitian American and the Haitian diaspora here in South Florida and across the states. We took it upon ourselves to bring you those stories. Today, we will discuss a mother's COVID-19 journey. She's familiar with battling cases in the courtroom, but when she became infected with COVID-19, one Haitian American lawyer found herself the target of this pandemic. Her survival story and how her community came to her aid on this episode of the BLShow.
Saturday night, I went to bed and I didn't feel right. I had a high fever. I had a pounding headache. And so it was not like anything I've ever experienced before. So the next morning, I texted my primary care physician and basically told her just that, in fatigue, pain, like literally, my legs were hurting so much that I really wanted somebody to just massage my legs. That's how painful they were. And so it was Sunday morning, and I can't remember if she called me back right away or she texted me back right away. And she said, the symptoms that you have described sounds to me that you may have, the coronavirus, COVID-19. And she said, I want you to self-isolate immediately.
When a lawyer becomes the victim of a virus, she knows better than anyone to allow the virus certain rights to her life and her health.
From that point on, I occupied the master bedroom, and basically no one could come in.
Beatrice is a family law attorney in South Florida with her own law practice. She became very sick very fast. It all started sometime in March with a fever. As she retraces her steps, she still does not know how she may have contracted the virus.
Just the fact that I had already lost my sense of taste, I was fatigued, like you wake up in the morning and you feel lethargic. The way that I was feeling, and with the pounding headache, I already knew in my mind that yes, you have COVID-19. Like, this is nothing that you've ever had before. I've had the flu before. And so this was nothing like the flu. I was experiencing labored breathing. And I'm like, okay, this is not normal. I didn't even get out of bed, which means I hadn't done anything for me to be experiencing this. I either texted or I called my primary care physician and I told her, this is what I'm experiencing. And she said, I need you to go to the emergency right now. So that was scary. It was very scary.
So for Beatrice, the last few weeks have meant a bit of fear. Many moments she doesn't even remember while she waited in isolation at home. The knowledge that after walking out of the emergency room with just antibiotics left her questioning her doctors and the experts.
So when I went to the emergency room, and when they did the chest x-ray, they saw that I had pneumonia. Let me just tell you, that was scary. And I think I scared my family. And I have to apologize to them because it was scary. As I was leaving, I was already in the parking lot, about to get in my car. The doctor came running after me and handed me 2 prescriptions. He also prescribed me the highly controversial drug, the hydroxychloroquine, which I thought was really weird because this is a drug that hasn't really been tested. Being that I've been watching the news and I've been reading up on it, it didn't sit well with me. And so I told my cousin who was on the phone with me, I told him, these are the 2 prescriptions that the doctor prescribed. And right away he said, I'm not aware of any drugs that, that cures COVID-19. And he said, that one we're not taking. Days later, when the FDA come out with the warning that this is a drug that should not be prescribed to COVID-19 patients because, it has all these serious side effects that include death. And it's like, thank God. Thank God. And I really do, first and foremost, I have to acknowledge that God did protect me. And I will say that I had a lot of people praying for me, even when I couldn't pray for myself, even when I was too weak to pray for myself, that I was covered. I was covered by a lot of people, by a lot of prayers, friends, family, and even strangers. And my spiritual leaders, I belong to an organization called the Links Incorporated, the Miami Biscayne Bay Links. And these are my sisters. They would have prayer meetings.
The mother of 2 is very lucky to be back at home with her family and regaining her strength into doing what she loves to do, helping families.
As an attorney, you have to listen to your client. And sometimes you have to give them an opportunity to vent. Sometimes you have to give them an opportunity to cry, and be vulnerable, because, sometimes that's the only time they feel safe enough to be able to let go of whatever, they have been carrying, whatever pain, whatever anger, or denial that they've been carrying around, trying to be strong, for the kids. The greatest satisfaction that I get is being able to kind of take on the burden for my clients and trying to get them the best possible result. Obviously, the law always looks at what's in the best interest of the children. So whatever I do, yes, I will be strong advocates for my clients. That's why they hire me, to make sure that I am looking out for their best interests. But I also have to look out for the best interests of their children.
For a lifetime of fighting for families, Beatrice feels extremely fortunate to be alive. She looks at this as a new take on life.
Money is great, but without people, you will be rich and very lonely. The number one is people. You need good people around you. You need solid relationships to be able to reach out to, because being stuck in a room for 20 days, if you didn't know anything about having solid people and having friends and family, then I think that you would learn that very quickly.
During this pandemic, we are learning that having a solid core group of people, friends, and family around you for support for different aspects of our complex lives are vital. This month, as we celebrate Haitian Heritage Month and also Mother's Day, we will talk about the state of the Haitian American support community. Let's welcome Beatrice Cazot. Welcome, Beatrice. How are you?
I'm good, Naomi. Thank you for having me on your show. It's an honor.
To be honest with you, the honor is all ours. I've followed you on social media for quite some time now. I think that the work that you're doing as a woman in law is extraordinary, and the work that you do as a community leader is inspiring. So thank you so very much for fighting COVID and for coming to the other side of COVID, and now here on the show to share your testimony.
Thank God for that. It is my pleasure to share my experience with fighting COVID-19. And one of the reasons why I posted about my journey, about my fight, is because I want to make sure people understand that this virus is real, especially for young people. I think that young people tend to believe that it can't happen to me. It's that whole I'm invincible, I'm sorry, mentality that it cannot happen to me. It'll happen, to everyone else, but it won't happen to me. As you know, if you watch the news and you read about COVID-19, you know that it can happen to anyone. It can happen to any one of us. In fact, I'm still not out of the woods in the sense that from everything that I'm hearing, there are no guarantees that even because I've had it, that I'm actually immune from getting it again. So I'm very careful, even now, even after having, experienced it, fought through it, and now I'm on the other side of it. I'm still careful. Whenever I step out of my house, I'm extremely careful.
And
yes, thanks for having me.
It's our pleasure. And I understand that you don't really know how you caught it.
I don't. And in fact, very early on, we had actually stopped meeting with clients, one-on-one, face-to-face consultation with clients. And so I was already doing video conferencing and, consultation and meeting with clients over the phone. So I really don't know where, how, or from, whom I contracted the virus.
Wow. Now, Beatrice, we understand in order for you to fight COVID and win, you had to have had a great support system. Tell us a little bit about that support system and how you cultivated it before catching the virus.
Oh, my God. It's all about having good people around you. Obviously, it starts at home, having a strong family system at home. Thank God for that. We're blessed to have that. Because the morning when I texted my primary care physician and told her about my symptoms the night before, she told me immediately that I had to self-isolate. And so, I had to tell the rest of the family that this is what's happening. I think I have my physician, I was going to say attorney, my physician believes that I have the coronavirus. And so I have to basically quarantine myself. And thank God I took, I took over the master bedroom and I spent 20 days in this room. And so having the support of my family, knowing that the kids are going to be taken care of, that's one less worry that I had because I wanted to concentrate and put all my strength and effort in fighting the coronavirus because it was really physically taxing and it was also mentally taxing because when you're going through it, nobody can really tell you, what's going to happen. And then you're having to deal with the high fever. You're having to deal with the headaches. It's like a pounding headache. You're having to deal with the pain and the fatigue. And there are days where you're so tired that you can't even stand up. So to have that system in place where you know that, your kids and your family is being taken care of, at least that's one thing you don't have to worry about. And, of course, you got to have a core group of friends that that you can call on when things are, when you need help, when you need prayer, when you need words of encouragement, when you need some hand holding. And I thank God for that. I'm blessed that I was able to cultivate friendship throughout my life, that I have people who can pray for me when I'm not able to pray for myself, who can make sure that everything is in place. And, whether it's praying with you or praying for you or giving you words of advice or, contacting other friends, doctors, lawyers to say this is what my friend is going through. What does she need to do? And so I'm glad I had that. In family, we're big on family. Family is extremely important. And it's the number one thing for me. And if anyone ever follow me on social media, that I have a large family and I'm very close. My siblings and I are very close and we communicate every day. So we were communicating via the family chat every day, keeping everybody up to date with how I was feeling that day. And, making sure because they're worried.
Of course.
And, unfortunately for me, as I was going through it, my younger brother and my younger sister who live in New York, they were both going through it as well. And so we were comparing notes in terms of how we were feeling. And so having, family who can pray for you, having a community who's supportive of you.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I waited until I started feeling better to let my community know that I had COVID-19 is because I know this community is very supportive of me and they have welcomed me. And just as I imagined, once they learned, the text started coming in, the messages, the phone calls, the emails, you understand? And when you're going through the virus, Naomi, you need to focus. You need all your strength.
Mm-hmm.
And so I would not have been able to respond, to the amount of support, the love and support that I received from my community. And so, yes, I want to say thank you to everyone who has reached out to me one way or another to basically say, I'm praying for you. I'm sorry this happened to you. And, I will lift you up in prayers. And so many people have done that. So many people have done that. So I thank God for that. I'm blessed. And this is what I said too in my post, is that I knew even when I was dealing with the virus and I was really scared, it was really scary because at one point, I had to go to the ER because when I contacted my primary care physician and I told her that I was having labored breathing, she said, I want you to go to the emergency room immediately. And so I did go to the emergency room and they did do a chest x-ray, which revealed that I had pneumonia. And that was a scary moment for me. And I scared, because I was scared, I scared everyone else. I texted my family, the chat group, to tell them that, they just told me I had pneumonia. Texted my group of friends in the chat group to tell them this is what's going on. My aunties and uncles. So, it was a scary moment. And then I contacted my cousin who has 40 plus years of experience as a pulmonologist. And he was on the phone with me and he calmed me down.
Okay.
And he basically says, this is what I want you to ask the doctor. This is what I want to hear. This is what I want to see. And so he walked me through it. Again, thank God for resources. Thank God for placing people in my path, in my life, to be able to guide me, you understand, through different steps in my life. And so he stayed with me. And then he and my primary physician, actually, we were texting back and forth. And she just kept saying, I want to know what your oxygen saturation is. And so when the doctor came back and said, okay, your oxygen level is at 98%. And then it was like, thank you, God. You understand? And my cousin was like, you're going to be okay. They're not going to keep you. You're going home. And basically, I was released from the hospital. And thank God for that, because that, a lot of people go to the ER, Naomi, and they don't come back. And never to be seen by their families again, because relatives are not allowed to go to the hospital to visit loved ones. People die. And you know how we are, Haitian Americans, when we have people in the hospital, honey, it's like we need an entire room, an entire floor to ourselves, because friends, family, pastor, sister, so-and-so, everybody's coming to visit. Because when you have a loved one in the hospital, you better make sure that you keep an eye on them. You understand? Because doctors make mistakes, nurses, and we love them and we thank them for the great work that they're doing, of course. But we do know that mistakes happen in hospitals. So when we have relatives in the hospital, we're all up in there and in your business. What are you doing? Did she eat? Is she clean? You know how it is.
And especially, is she clean?
Yes.
Oh my God.
So thank God for that.
I am listening to you and I just feel the passion and I feel the gratitude just coming and being expressed through your words. Again, we thank you for sharing. I want to go back to the 20 days of quarantine. How was that for you and your two sons? Because being a mother myself and having a son and knowing how affectionate he is and always wanting to run to me and hug me. I understand you have 2 sons, an 8 and a 10-year-old.
Correct.
How was that for them?
Oh my God, that right there, in addition to fighting the virus, that part of having, the boys, they're Christian and Sebastian, they're 8 and 10. And so we are on the second floor, on the upper floor, and, their bedrooms are there down the hall. And every day as they have to go downstairs for breakfast, they would pass my doors and they would knock on the door. Mommy, can we come in now? Mommy, are you still sick? Mommy, can we hug you? And that was really tough. That was really tough because I'm very close to my kids. The hugs and the kisses, they're constant in our house, constant. And, I like to spend time with my kids. The weekends are theirs, always. I don't work weekends. And if I have a client that has, basically a work schedule that prevents them to be able to come to my office to meet with me during the day, then, I will make the sacrifice and then, based on appointments only. But for the most part, the weekends, they belong to my kids. And having gone through COVID, this is going to be what I do from now on, spend time with my kids. Because being here stuck in this room for 20 days, it's, with not being able to see your kids, not being able to kiss them and hug them. And, Naomi, as a mom, I overheard the conversation they were having. And Christian asked Sebastian, can you ever remember a time when you couldn't hug mommy? And Sebastian said, no, I can't. Wow. And that right there, it warms my heart. But at the same time, it scared me because here I am, I'm making promises to my kids that, mommy's going to be fine. We're going to be hugging and kissing again soon. Mommy's still sick. Just give me a few days. And as this thing continues to attack you, this virus, and you're like, my God, am I going to be able to keep my promise to my kids? You understand? And as I was going to the hospital, that's one of the things that I kept going through my head. And I had to have a serious conversation with my God. And it's like, you know what? I've been stuck in this room for a very long time. Mm-hmm. And I have been promising my kids that they're going to be able to hug and kiss mommy again. And so I really want you to help me keep my promise because I want to be able to go home. Wow. And after all this, I want to be able to hug my kids and kiss them and, hold on to them for a very long time. And, as a mom, it all comes back to your kids.
I totally understand. And I hear you. Was there ever a time during this that you thought to yourself, Beatrice, you may not make it?
There was this moment where, and I always say this is when I believe I was in trouble because I started doing the breathing exercise. And I think that Chris Cuomo had talked about it. So I Googled it. Mm-hmm. And at the time, when you're sick, people who know and your friends, they were sending you all sorts of things like my WhatsApp. It's full of remedies. You up. All kinds of remedies, all kinds of teas, all kinds of shakes, you name it. Mm-hmm. And, as Haitians, we believe in natural remedies.
Yes.
You understand? And I have, my right-hand woman who basically held the fort down with Max while I was sick here. And she made sure that I have all sorts of teas. Oh, my God, Naomi, let me tell you, the bitter kinds, the ones that I would even smell or touch on a good day. The associ.
Yes, all of that.
What? I tried everything.
Wow.
Okay. I tried everything. So when I learned about there was a breathing technique, I was like, okay, well, I need to start doing this breathing techniques to help, strengthen my lungs. And then part of it was that you had to lay flat on your stomach. I can't remember all the details of it. Naomi, when I went to lay on my stomach, I couldn't breathe properly. I was like, oh my God, this is when I realized that this thing isn't my lungs. I'm in trouble. I was so scared that night. I slept sitting up because what I understand is that the more you lay on your back, I guess the easier it is for the virus to get through your lungs and attack your lungs. And it's very comfortable to lay on your back. And I was doing that the whole time. So I never actually tried laying on my side or on my belly. And when I went to do that and tried to do the breathing exercise, that's when I realized that I was having trouble doing that. And, and again, because this virus is so new, nobody can make any promises. Nobody can give you any guarantees. But one thing that everyone that I spoke to, including my cousin that I told you, who is the pulmonologist and my primary care physician, which, by the way, I'm going to say her name. She is Dr. Anita Petaway Tyler. She just also happened to be one of my Link sisters. And Naomi, let me tell you how God works in mysterious ways. About probably 2 or 3 months prior to me contracting the COVID-19, I made a decision and I said, you know what? I want to switch my primary care physician. I actually want a doctor that I feel that I can relate to, that I'm not just a number. I want someone that I can relate to. I want someone that I can trust fully, that if anything happens to me, that he or she would do anything or everything that they would do for their own family.
Absolutely.
And so I have known Dr. Petaway for some time because, like I said, we're part of the same organization. It's the Lynx organization. It's the Miami Biscayne Bay chapter of the Lynx, because you talked about having a core group of people that you can call on when times are tough. These women, my sisters, they were holding prayer meetings on Zoom every week, praying for me and other sisters who have been affected by, different illnesses or the coronavirus.
Wow.
Let me just tell you, you cannot put a dollar price, a dollar tag on people who genuinely love you and care for you and want to see good things for you.
Absolutely.
You understand? Who want to see you blessed, who wants to see you well, who wants to see you healthy. And, these are the people that God has placed in my life. And I keep saying this. I said, I don't know what I have done in my past life to deserve this, to deserve these people. But I'm very thankful. Again, my family, whether it's my siblings, cousins, Max's family, his brothers, his sisters, his entire family have been very supportive of me, of us, throughout this whole thing. And my friends, they know who they are. Let me tell you, these women, They held me up. They held me up in prayers. They were constant, texting. But, again, to say whether or not I was scared, yes, I was scared. Naomi, let me tell you one last thing. My cousin that I told you that have been in practice for more than 40 years. After, I got my second test where I tested negative, and I posted in the group chat that I got my results and that I was negative. He called me 2 days later and he said, now that, you're out of the woods, I'm going to be frank with you. He said, as your cousin and as a doctor, I'm going to tell you that I was scared. I was scared for you. And he said, especially when I learned that you had pneumonia.
Wow.
And so when you hear that from an expert, you understand, you know how far you've come.
Wow. What an amazing story. At this time, we're going to take a break and we're going to find out how this experience has changed your life. We'll be right back. Video production services are brought to you by Skylight Films. If you need to go live on social media, contact Skylight Films today at 305-300-3874 or visit their Instagram page at Skylight_films. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel just below. We want to stay connected with you. Due to COVID-19, many organizations need a safe and equipped place to host meetings and to broadcast live on many social media platforms. BL Workspace can help. All you really need to do is come in and start your live events with whom you wish to connect with. You can connect with church congregations, small businesses, or throw a concert. We are here to help. With a crew of 1 or 2 people and with a strict social distance protocol in place, this is the place where you can hold your virtual meetings. BL Workspace, connecting people and organizations. Call us now to book 786-440-8121. You can also connect with us on Instagram at BL Workspaces. Welcome back to the BL Show. It is an honor and a privilege for us to have with us Beatrice Kazu. Beatrice, you've been sharing so much about your experience with COVID-19, the support system that you have cultivated around you, which included family, friends, doctors, and even your primary care physician who seemed to have been hands-on during this difficult time. And it's safe to say that God has truly blessed you beyond measure. Tell us, is there anything or is there any aspect of life that you see differently after COVID-19?
Aspects of life that I see differently. Based on my experience, Naomi, it actually reaffirms a lot of my beliefs. And, we always say tomorrow's not promised. And it's true. Tomorrow's promised to no one. And we have to make the best of the days that we have. We have to make the best of today. And when I was going through, my fight, fighting coronavirus, I had to think back. One of the main things for me was like making sure are all my papers in order. It's the lawyer in me, because you have to, and as a mother, as a parent, your priority is always your kids, whether or not you're here or not. You want to make sure that their future is still bright and that you make provisions for them. Yes. And so it was like, do I need to update? Did I update my trust? Wow. Is everything still in order? Your life insurance policy, is that still, is that still active?
Yes, yes,
So,
yes, absolutely.
Because these are the things that you have to make sure. If something were to happen to me, I have to make sure that my family is going to be okay. My kids especially are going to be okay. So as a parent, that's your number one priority, whether you're here or not. The other thing that I have decided is that, in my business and my practice, sometimes there are days when I go in and, you're leaving your office 8, 9 o'clock. And you're coming home and you're tired.
Yes.
You understand? And you're probably snapping at your family or your kids because you're spent. You understand?
Yes,
you're
through. You're through for the day.
You've given your all to your clients, and then the people who are most important to you, you have very little time left in the day for them. And one of the reasons why I say that I don't work on weekends is because, the kids have sports, they have things, they have a life, they have activities. So I have to be sure that I'm present for them. So what I thought to myself is that, I just realized a lot of my work can actually be done virtually or remotely. And so instead of staying at the office until 8, 9 p.m. and getting home and being too tired, then I need to spend less time in the office
Wow.
and spend more time with my kids. And so that is what when I reevaluate things, I realize that, yes, work is important, making money is important, but nothing can replace your family, your kids especially. And so now you have to reevaluate and work around it.
I
And
love
so,
it. I love it. I truly believe that just the quarantine time that we all have had with South
yeah,
Florida being shut down, it caused you to look at business differently, how you do business, and really, do you physically need to be in front of the person in order to provide the service?
exactly.
That's what it boiled down to. And I think for many of us that are in the service business realize, no, you do not have to be. You do not have to be.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Beatrice, I know that you have two sons. Tell us, what does the future hold for you and distance learning with your two boys?
Basically, it's a learning curve. It's a learning curve because for the most part, kids are usually at school. And by the time they get home, of course, they have homework, they have assignments.
Mm-hmm.
But now with, homeschooling, or what is it? Virtual
distance
schooling.
learning,
Distance
homeschooling.
learning.
They say it's not the same
Exactly.
thing. But the point is, they're not at school. They're at your house.
Exactly.
And you have to put a program
here
together.
All day.
Yes.
All day, every day. Take a break all day.
Eating the food nonstop.
Oh my God. Boys, they're always hungry. They're always hungry. And so, with all of this, what I'm realizing is that first and foremost, I've always respected our teachers, and I've always felt that, they deserve a lot more than what they're getting. And we do have to pay our teachers a lot more because, my God, these people spend, the majority of the time with our kids, and they're teaching them, and these are the next presidents and the next lawyers and doctors. You understand that they're teaching, but yet we don't respect them enough to give them a living wage. So that's number one. But the idea is, the amount of work, the amount of assignments, and, being a working mom, because I may be home, but, I'm still running a business. I still have staff. I still have clients. I still have judges that I need to account, that I need to report to. And so I also have to help them with their work because they have questions. Sometimes some of the directions or instructions, they're multi-layered, and sometimes it's hard for an 8-year-old, as smart as they are, or for a 10-year-old to really grasp what's being asked of them to do. And so they're constantly pulling on you. Mommy, I need help with this. I need help with that. You have to communicate with the teachers because sometimes Zoom may not be working. As we learned earlier today, right? It may freeze on you. Instructions and information are coming from all ends. The teachers are either texting you or emailing you or posting things on Class Dojo. The information is a lot, and it's coming at you from all ways and sideways. And it's like, oh my God, you understand? It's hard to get a handle on. Yes. And Naomi, I'm going to point out something. I like to consider myself as a smart woman, but this is hard sometimes, even for me. And so, as a Haitian American, and I have to think to myself, what happens to kids who are in a home where mom or dad are not fluent?
Yes.
You understand? They don't speak English. They're not fluent in technology. They don't know anything about computer. Yes. Don't even know where the button, the turn on, turn off button is. And it's like, what is going on in those, with our people? Yes. The Haitian immigrants. Now, all of a sudden, these kids are home every day, and they have school assignments, and they have to, log into Zoom so that they can attend class, and they don't know how to work the computer. To me, it's like I don't know what's going on, and It may be no Wi-Fi. That's another issue. And I know that most schools pass out computers to the kids, so the laptop may not be an issue. But what if what if they don't have internet access? What if they don't have Wi-Fi? So in addition to not being able to understand the work and not fluent in technology, not knowing how to work a computer, and now you have the issue where the kids cannot even access the work because there's no Wi-Fi in the home. There's no internet access. And so, in our household, we're dealing with it. You understand? Sometimes I have to put my own work aside so that I can help my kids, but at least I'm able to help them. You understand? Sometimes I joke, that the way they're teaching them now, especially when it comes to math, is so different from the way that I learned how to do math. Mm-hmm. And so it's a learning curve. And sometimes I say, I'm not smarter than a fifth grader or a fourth grader because it's hard work. Yes. Learning how to help them with the way that they're learning how to do math at school. And so, but at least I can learn. If I don't understand something, I have resources. I have people that I can call. I'm constantly communicating with the teachers. If something is amiss, something is not right, I let them know. I'm very vocal about it. When it comes to my kids, I'm pretty vocal. I if it's not right, it's not right. And I'm going to let somebody know. But, I feel for the parents who are not able to do that.
Yes. Beatrice, thank you so very much for sharing your heart, your experience, and all that you bring to the table as a woman and as a mother. I want to wish you a happy Mother's Day. I thank God for blessing you with this awesome testimony. And I've learned another aspect of who you are. You're a fighter. You are a fighter, and we thank God for that. Please, at this moment, share some words of wisdom for all the women who are going to be watching on this Mother's Day.
Naomi, thank you so much, and thank you for having me. And let me just tell you that I have admired you from afar, and I appreciate the work that you're doing in this community. It's well needed, whether it's in Balanced Life and basically all the work or this program right here that you're doing. So thank you for all that you do, and happy Mother's Day to you, and happy Mother's Day to all the women, all the mothers out there. And I just want to let you know that you are enough as parents, as mothers. We're all constantly doubting ourselves. We're constantly asking whether or not we're doing enough, whether or not we are enough. Can we basically, do more? Is there anything else that we should be doing? Stop doubting yourself. Just give it your best. Your kids need you. And most importantly, they need your love. They need your respect. They just need you to be there for them. Just spend time with your kids. Just love them and let them know that they are important. Speak life into them. Don't be too critical of them. Just support them, because as a mother, as a parent, that's what God chose you to be, the parent, for a very specific reason. There are a lot of people, that don't have children for one reason or another. So the fact that God was able to give you this child or these children for you to parent, to mother, just know that you have all that you need to care for the child, and basically to love them and protect them. I know that it's tough for some of us, for some of you, especially during this time. You may be unemployed or out of work for one reason or another, or quarantined at home with the kids, and they're constantly need you, constantly calling mommy for food, for homework. And I know sometimes it's physically or mentally taxing, but know that you have everything that you need. So as a mother, that you cannot be everything for everybody. Basically, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, even if that means that you lock yourself in your room for 10 or 15 minutes just so that you can relax and be at peace, because you have to be strong to be able to take care of the kids, to be able to take care of your spouse, to be able to take care of your household. So take some time for yourself. Usually I would say just take a spa day. But since we're all quarantined, and I think that the spa is the last place that you would want to be. So just do it at home. Maybe take a long bath. You understand? Just some time to yourself to reflect on the day, to reflect on what's going on in your life, whether or not you're out of work, whether or not you're worried about, where your next paycheck is going to come from, what's going on with work, whether or not you're going to be able to go back to your old job, what's going on with the school, with the kids. There's a lot of unknown right now.
Yes.
But just take a couple of minutes to yourself and just, again, your kids, they're very important. They're looking up to you. God put you in their lives, or they put them in your life for a reason. So just take care of yourself, take care of them, hug them, speak life into them, pray for them. And so basically that's all I have. And then I just want to wish all of you a happy Mother's Day.
Thank you so very much, Beatrice. Nous connaissons que nous avons un pile femmes haïtiennes qui gardé dans moment ça. S'il vous plaît, ba nous un petit mot encouragement pour toutes sœurs nous qui gardé.
Tout ça m'a dit toute maman yo, premièrement bonne fête des mères. Et ça que m'a dit nous c'est que durant week-end fête des mères là, prends petit temps pour tête nous. Prends petit temps pour nous réfléchir, prends petit temps pour nous prier, prends petit temps juste que pour nous relax. Et parfois peut-être que ou jusqu'à juste entrer dans chambre ou fermer porte là et pour dire tout petit monde yo rete dehors parce que mamie juste besoin faire un petit relax. Pas vrai? Ou fermer tête ou dans chambre ou prendre petit temps ça pour vous même, que c'est 15 minutes, que c'est 30 minutes, juste pour vous même, pour réfléchir, pour prier, pour occuper tête ou parce que si vous même ou pas bien, vous comprenez, ou pas qu'à gérer reste là. So, faut que vous occupez pas ou, même gens que là ou dans airplane nan, ou pas ouais do comme ça que si airplane nan gon problème, make sure qu'on met oxygène pas ou avant que ou aider l'autre, même c'est petit tout c'est Mario, pas vrai? So c'est même genre, si que ou même ou pas normal, so qui m'ta dit que avec tout stress que ou gagne, stress chita nan kay ap gérer ti moun toute la journée après mais do pour bagay devoir. Pas vrai? Et peut-être que ou capable pas travail ou perdre du travail ou par contre côté chèque là venir pour payer bill a monter sous. Ce qui peut dire que parfois nous tout besoin de petit temps juste pour nous chita, pour nous relax, pour nous réfléchir. So prends petit temps pour tête ou. C'est ça m'a demandé ou bien m'a conseillé nous toutes mesdames yo fait pour Weekend Mother's Day. So Naomi, merci en pile, merci pour l'opportunité que vous m'avez pour me venir dans BLShow, pour me share un petit peu de moi-même, un petit peu de maladie coronavirus ça me so gérer un petit peu de famille moi petit moun moi yo so m'apprécier ça, merci en pile et merci pour aucun chaîne travail ça que vous fait dans communauté.
Beatrice, it was indeed my honor. There is a proverb that says, heavy is the head that wears the crown. And truly, indeed, you are wearing a crown and you wear it well. Thank you so much for all that you do in this community. We look forward to what God is going to bring forth out of you because we know that He saved you from this virus for a purpose, and the purpose has just begun. God bless you and happy Mother's Day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. We'll be right back. Video production services are brought to you by Skylight Films. If you need to go live on social media, contact Skylight Films today at 305-300-3874 or visit their Instagram page at skylight_films. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel just below. We want to stay connected with you. Due to COVID-19, many organizations need a safe and equipped place to host meetings and to broadcast live on many social media platforms. BL Workspace can help. All you really need to do is come in and start your live events with whom you wish to connect with. You can connect with church congregations, small businesses, or throw a concert. We are here to help. With a crew of 1 or 2 people and with a strict social distance protocol in place, this is the place where you can hold your virtual meetings. BL Workspace, connecting people and organizations. Call us now to book 786-440-8121. You can also connect with us on Instagram at BL Workspaces. Welcome back. I would like to take this opportunity to say Happy Haitian Heritage Month to the entire Haitian diaspora here in South Florida and around the world. And to all our mothers, I see you and I hear you. I want you to know you are exceptional. You have great value and we love you. Happy Mother's Day. May God reward your faithfulness. Until next time, have a balanced life.